Hello, everyone. This is episode 16 of the For the Badge podcasting series. We're back. My name is Elijah. I'm with Deo and Andres, per usual. Our weekly podcast on everything football, mainly the Premier League, blah, blah, blah. First, before we start, I'm just going to say, like the video, subscribe. We're doing really good on subscribers recently and viewership, so keep that up. Keep that up. We really appreciate it. Notifications on, so you get notification for these every week, and when they get split up throughout the week, and blah, 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 all that. Okay. So I'm going to start with asking all three of us a question. Who was one player that you wish worked out better for your club after you had?
I saw that question
for them.
I
thought you did. Yeah. So just for context, I'm a Chelsea fan. Diego's on Tottenham. Andres is West Ham. You guys go ahead first. I had a thought and I forgot what it was, but go ahead.
Okay. Do you want to go first?
No. You go ahead. You seems like you're excited. Knock yourself out.
So, Chicharito, he's my favorite player. He got me into soccer. That was the first player I knew when I first started watching football. I watched him play at Man United when I was a kid. So, he came to West Ham. Super stoked when he came from Bayern Leverkusen. He was a record transfer fee. And when he came, he scored a couple goals, but didn't really do much overall entirely. He got ridiculed by the fans for just staying around when he didn't have the ball. But he played great. I wish he would have had a better opportunity because Moyes came over, took over, and changed his role at the club, and he kind of had a different role, and it wasn't that effective. So I wish he would have been better at the club at the time. Sure. I felt like if he went with two strikers at the time instead of Moyes leaving him up top, isolated by himself, he would have done way better because he does better when he has a partner. But yeah, that's my pick, Chicharito Hernandez. But it's kind of nice now, so now I can see him anytime I want at Galaxy.
There we go.
So,
there we go.
All worked out.
All right. Diego?
I think Elijah's gonna agree with me on this one. Tanguy Ndombele. Oh, what a player he could have been. He is so talented. This isn't even me trying to be a Spurs fan and biased. I legitimately mean this. He's one of the most gifted midfielders I have ever seen with my own eyes. He is so good on the ball. He just has I'm going to keep it PG this time. A terrible attitude. Terrible attitude. Just so poor. It's like people keep saying Mourinho wasted him. No. He wasted himself. He is so talented. And the fact that he wasted because he doesn't try hard enough, he doesn't run hard enough, and he only likes to play when he has the ball, which in today's game is a no-go. You need to be able to play without the ball. Yeah. Right. And it's just so disappointing because he's our record club transfer fee. And honestly, I don't even blame the scouts for this one because you look at him before and you're like, yeah, he's worth the money. Get him. He's going to be a star in the midfield. He's going to control the midfield, and just so disappointing. So disappointing. So yeah. Tanguy.
I like that.
Ndombele.
Similar reasons to Antonio Chicharito, at least, and lack of effort off the ball. Mine is very much like Andres. My favorite player of all time, Christian Pulisic. Not to say he's been terrible. He hasn't been as bad as Ndombele was for Tottenham and Chicharito was for West Ham. Pulisic is still a great winger, and on his day in his prime, he still hasn't even reached his prime, but on his day, he's a top 4 or 5 winger in the Prem, in my opinion. But just injuries, changing of managers, came in from Lampard, moved to Tuchel, now is with Graham Potter. None of them really playing him in his position, and when they do, it works out. Then he gets playing time in his position, then he gets hurt. It's the cycle. It's been the cycle for the past 2 or 3 years now, and he's probably going to leave in the summer. I know AC Milan just inquired about him, so. So my vote, Christian Pulisic. He could have been so good. We had flashes. I remember I just saw a tweet about this too. Flashes of Eden Hazard in the beginning, and which for good reason too. I mean, he's a very, I don't know about a similar player, but he brings very similar things. So yeah, Christian Pulisic. All right, let's move on to. Let's see. Last week we covered a lot of Tottenham. Released a video on them as well. I'm going to keep with Tottenham because last night, the rumors have been disproven, but there's still a good discussion to be had. The rumor was Antonio Conte.
Title.
Yeah, Antonio Conte decided to leave Tottenham at the end of the season based off reports from a pretty credible reporter.
Yeah.
Since then, it's been disproven, and he hasn't made his decision. But I think it still highlights the fact that he might not come back next year. Antonio Conte could be leaving Tottenham. I want to know everyone's opinions on that. And of course, I want Tottenham fan to give us his, and the other two London clubs can make a rebuttal.
The floor is yours.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't remember what I said last week. I feel like I might have covered this. So I don't want to retread old ground, but just to summarize it, I am obviously not happy that he's leaving. But with that being said, I completely understand why he's leaving. This is 100% the Spurs board and Daniel Levy's fault. He knew what Conte was like. You know what he's like when you bring him in. And if you're not going to back him with exactly either what he wants or very close to what he wants, you are going to get an unhappy manager. And when you have bad players that you've had for even before Poch's days, I think Lloris was before Poch's days now. So when you have play, and he's not that he's bad. I love Lloris, but at this point in time, it's time to move on. And the fact that we have to rely on so many players that were here since Poch, which is such a long time ago now, it's crazy. And I don't blame Conte at all. And I don't think any Spurs fan that says Conte is the reason we're not doing well is delusional. It is completely and 100% the deadwood players that we're still having to play often, and the fact that we're not being backed and funded enough, not funded enough, but just being given enough support, to really make the moves we need. And so, I don't blame Conte. I get it. I understand. It's frustrating to be in this position where you're like, oh, he's a world-class manager. We can do world-class things. If you're not going to give him anything to work with, like that, you're gonna be screwed. And now there's the rumors is, we're gonna get Poch back. And let me be honest, I love Poch, and I would love to see him back, but he's not gonna fix the issues here, because the only person who can fix the issues are the people at the very top. And considering they've had, I don't know how long it's been now, 15 years since they've been here, and it hasn't been fixed, I have no hope for that. And all I can hope for is some Qatari dude who is swimming in the money is gonna come along and be like, hey, we want to buy a club, and that'd be the only way. Because as of right now, I don't see it changing. It's been 15 years. We've had 4 or 5 managers. Nothing's changed. Nothing's gonna change. So, yeah.
Fair. I mean, I was gonna say, like, Tottenham, the only 2 things you don't need to get rid of are Harry Kane and Antonio Conte, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And those are the 2 things that you are most likely going to get rid of, or are going to leave in the next year or so. And I think that's very abysmal. It's just so sad, because like I said, I'm on Tottenham Twitter because of Diego. I've been saving tweets now at this point. Like, I just get so many. This one, just to clarify, Antonio Conte, the man who was hired to help Tottenham win, who only accepted the job under assurances that he would be backed, was not deemed worthy of being backed by Daniel Levy. This other one about manager. Oh, here we go. Tottenham appointing win now managers like Jose Mourinho, Antonio Conte, but not fully backing them is like buying a Ferrari without the keys. It's honestly so baffling to me. 100% true.
Yeah.
And now, like, 100%. But Daniel Levy's going to sit back in his seat and just be like, let's bring someone else in who's going to fix it for me.
But
we've seen time and time again that's just not possible. There is no one else that can fix it but the board or the higher ups.
Yeah,
no matter how many record-breaking seasons Harry Kane's going to have. No matter, things like that, it's not going to fix it without the proper structure, proper foundation.
We could be talking about a Tottenham team with, I would say, at least 2 Premier League titles, a Champions League, and maybe a couple, I don't know, cups, whatever. And we're talking about one that's won one. Was it the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup? I don't remember which one. I think it was the Carabao Cup. One Carabao Cup under Daniel Levy. One.
And that was like 12 years ago.
2007.
16 years ago. 16 years
ago. I want to say 2007. Wow. I don't remember for sure, but something like that. Late 2000s. Basically, my point is we had so much potential to to have won some big titles, and the fact that we even got to those points with what we have is honestly an insane overachievement that I think we're going to look back on and be like, how the hell did we get there? Now the question is, do we fix it or do we stay where we are? Now with Daniel Levy in charge, I can tell you that
Right.
old bitch. Sorry,
Like,
I was going to keep PG, but I had to say that. I had to say that. Yeah.
Hey, no, we're far enough in the video. We're good. We're good.
Exactly.
we're good.
Yeah.
We're good. Damn, what was I gonna say? Oh, I was gonna say, okay, like Tottenham in the past 6 years, maybe 7, 8 years or so, right? This was the 7, 8 years where Tottenham should have been the team like that they wanted to be, right? That you guys wanted to be, things like that. And arguably, they should be on the same level, same stature, same achievements as like Chelsea have been. Like Chelsea have been the team that Tottenham should have been rivaling more, or should have been. We have 2 Premier League titles. Like I know we have more, but like those, I'm talking about those 2 specifically, and then Champions League after that, and the Europa League after that, as well as FAs and Carabaos. Like Tottenham should have been at that level that Chelsea were at, but Tottenham lucked out. And I mean, like, I'm just so confused in a way where every team at some point is going to rebuild, right? City had the rebuild, and they became the team they are now. Chelsea going through another rebuild, blah, blah, blah. Every team's going to rebuild if they want to be on top. But Tottenham don't even know what they're going to do. Like, there's no plan in place, it seems. It's either you full send maintaining the spot you're at now, you bring in win now managers, win now players, or you just say screw it and you rebuild and bring young talents in, rebuild the front office, managers, all that. But Tottenham are just sitting there in limbo trying to get Pedro Porro over. That's it.
See, and here's the thing. We actually were on a good streak the past 2 windows in regards to the players we signed. We got Kulusevski, who is a gem. He's been really absolute good. Gem. He's actually been solid. Is the reason I have hope in this club still. Christian Romero, who has, I think, cemented himself as a world-class defender since the World Cup final. Bentancur, who I think is such a silky midfielder, so good. So not to go over the signings. Basically, we have made some very good signings, but that's 3 or 4. When there are other clubs who have signed 3 or 4 in one window, and it's just so exactly. And it's just so slow. Like we're not going to get anywhere if we're going to sign 1, 2 good players every window, or not even good. Sometimes they're not good, but 1 or 2 players that could maybe be something. We're not going to get anywhere with that. We're going to be just where we were 15 years ago.
You got to keep up.
Exactly, you got to keep up. Admittedly, we're going to have to make some smart deals, right? We're not going to be able to rival for the biggest players, so we have to make smarter buys, which we did. Fabio Paratici made some great deals off of Juventus. That's exactly how we got both those players. Now he may be going to prison soon, or that may be what's happening.
Suspend it for 2 years.
Suspend it at least. But
we've all been there. We've all been there.
Yeah, we have. It still means we can still do stuff
without
it. We don't.
What the fuck?
Just kidding. I'm playing.
Anyways, so that's not looking too good either. But
yeah. I know that's just like the last straw right there is Paratici being almost.
That's not great. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, because the way that Daniel Levy's been moving is like, okay, I'm gonna sign a good director of football to lead the whole team, and I'm just gonna sit back and give you guys more, like a little bit of money while pocketing the rest.
Yeah.
And now that director of football might not be part of the club for 2 years, it could be a good thing. In all honesty,
it could be. It could be.
But I also wouldn't be surprised if Daniel Levy's gonna sit there and be like, "We'll just wait out the 2 years."
I'm gonna tell you this right now.
Imagine
if the day that Daniel Levy leaves this club is gonna be the best day since Pochettino got to that Champions League final, 100%. And so, when is it gonna happen? I don't know. Maybe it's in 10 years when I have my own kids. Or maybe it's in a year when we're hoping. Who knows? But it'll happen one day.
Yeah. No, seriously.
It's the hope that kills you.
I don't promote assassination.
every season is gonna go by.
Whoa. Did you not hear Diego? Did you hear what Diego said?
No, I was trying to be nice and be like, it's just gonna hurt every time he's still the owner, and then he just insulted me. What?
No.
Oh, what happened?
Did you hear? Diego said
no. I thought he insulted me based on your reaction.
No. Diego jokingly said, "I don't promote assassination," and then
I'm just saying, if someone's feeling a little risky out there.
No.
Any men hitmans are out there. Diego will pay you for free to do this job.
47?
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Okay. That was a joke, FBI.
Every week. Every week.
FBI. It was a joke.
Take me off the watch list, please. I'm okay. I'm good.
We don't condone violence here, all right? No. Or cheating of any kind.
Nope.
We don't. Leave Diego alone. We still stand by him.
Anyways, we're gonna move on here. We're gonna move on to Tottenham.
That was a good idea.
Honestly, Tottenham is gonna be a topic if we're gonna have every week for a while now.
It is.
We got
our three clubs. There's so much like what our three clubs.
Can I give a shout out to Tottenham fans? I love you guys. We'll get through this. Yep. We will get through this. Stay strong.
Yep.
Stay strong. Meanwhile, they're chilling in 5th right now. They're like, stay strong. It's like, how is it up there, bud? I don't know. I'm fucking in 16th right now. Barely, by the way, but we're in 16th.
I just needed that. Right there. Okay, I'm moving on topics. United played Arsenal. United played Arsenal today. Arsenal winning 3-2. Great game, by the way. Great game. One of the best of the season so far. But I do want to talk about United. Okay, so we know Arsenal is probably going to win the title this year. I texted out in the group chat. I think it's a shoo-in now. I think it's going to be very hard for them to let up where they're at. But before the game, a lot of United fans on Twitter, at least, given the whole we're title contenders, we could be Arsenal here, we're showing what we really mean. That lasted a whole of about maybe 3-4 hours, and then they lost. But I do want to raise the point here. Are United in a good spot? Are United in a spot they want to be in for this year and for the next few years? Because I think so. I think United could very well be. No, okay. Because here's my thought. The way I'm thinking is, in the next year, 2, 3 years, I'm thinking of maybe even 6. No. I'm thinking of 5 teams at least that are going to be in the title race, and it's going to be and maybe 6 and 7 if Liverpool and Tottenham want to get it together. City are obviously going to be in there year in year out as long as they keep bringing talent. Pep's there. Arsenal, obviously, if they keep the signings up, they've signed really good players as transfer window. I don't know if you guys have seen, but they're adding depth was what they needed.
Yeah,
which is the big thing they needed. So that's City, Arsenal, United. I think is going to be up there after this season because they've been performing really well. Newcastle's up there, I think, as long as they can keep up what they're doing, as long as Eddie Howe can keep working his magic and they keep getting signings. I think Chelsea, in time, will be there. I think that's the whole point of it, so I think it's 5 from teams, possible 7, of course, Tottenham, Liverpool. So that's all I'm saying. But I think United are very easily cementing their spot as a potential title contender next year. I don't know. What do you guys? I want to hear your guys' thoughts on that.
I'm impressed with United. The whole turnaround once they got rid of distractions, it's crazy what can happen when your team's fully focused on actual playing. But no, I'm just saying. I think United's recent success has a lot to do with one man, Marcus Rashford. I think he's essentially in certain games he's carried them. Certain results have only because he showed up at the right time and scored. And I think they're picking back off his success. But I think, every player goes out of form eventually, right? And he's been on form since the World Cup. So I genuinely believe that they'll go back to their normal roots. Yes, I like what they're doing now, but at the same time, it's still the same philosophy of just buying players, give me players. So they'll buy another big player, and then they'll be the same thing over and over again.
I mean, I think that, I agree and disagree with you because Rashford has been borderline world class this season. We know that. Everyone knows that. No one can disagree with that. But and we can't not give him the credit for it because he has been the best player of the season, arguably alongside Casemiro. But I also don't think that I think it's disrespectful to the rest of the team for taking that away from them. I think but Casemiro and Rashford have picked up the slack for the rest of the team because they haven't been good individually, honestly. But I think you pile on top of that with other signings and you get rid of I think it's like this is where Tottenham should be. United have players that have been around for a minute. Luke Shaw, even Aaron Wan-Bissaka, David McTominay. McTominay's almost he just turned 26, I think. Yeah, December. But but they're all getting older in age, right? And this is the core that was there 3-4 years ago. And I think much like Tottenham, they need to get rid of them, and then they can be top class, which I think they will. But I think, like I said, I think it is fair to say Rashford and Casemiro have been like the two best players by long and far. But I think it's disrespectful to say that no one else should get credit, especially Eric Ten Hag. Eric Ten Hag has been moving a madness. He was the right manager they needed the whole time. But we know that. We know how talented he is, and he's been phenomenal over there.
I want to add just something. I think you're completely right. I think there are some players that need to move on from. I think De Gea is one of them.
Yeah.
I think there are some really good pieces there. I could see them going for a striker. Obviously they're going to want to look for a long-term solution to striker eventually.
Which I think Harry Kane's a signing, by the way. I want to put that out there.
He's looking very likely to go to United. The best team to get him without doubt is United as of right now. So here's the thing, I keep seeing United fans are like, Harry Kane wouldn't be a bad pickup. I saw someone say he's a solid striker, and here's the thing. I understand he plays for Spurs, so people tend to overlook certain things, but I stand by this 100%. Harry Kane is the best player in the Premier League when he's fit. I stand by that. I know people probably. I don't think Salah's been that great this season, so I'm not going to put.
He has not.
I think the Bruyne is very good.
Yeah. That's its own topic.
It is, but let me say this: Harry Kane on a team that is that can actually put him to use and actually a strong team around him would be so good that people don't realize how good he will be. I genuinely don't think people are going to expect how good he's going to be. That's why I kind of wish he would have gone to City because I think we would have seen an insane season from him. I honestly, you think Haaland's going crazy? I think we would have seen something crazy.
That is entirely true because we did do the video on it last week, and the video topic was that Haaland is actually making City worse or not. If you want to go watch it, you can check out the channel, of course. But because of the style of play, is he making him worse? By the way, there was a comment on the video. Someone said he's been phenomenal all season, blah, 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 and over time he will develop. And he doesn't make them worse, but he doesn't necessarily make them better, which I think is a good comment on that. Yeah. I think it's fair. But the whole thing was that Haaland doesn't have Buddha play, doesn't have the ability to take it on himself and, set up other players as well as himself afterwards. Harry Kane does all that. And I think it is completely appropriate to say that when it's all said and done, he might be the best striker of all time that we've seen in the Premier League. Maybe Haaland, but in the end. But he obviously Haaland has potential, but Harry Kane could go down as at least top 3 strikers in the Premier League history.
Yeah,
easily.
And not to win a trophy. It's crazy.
No, honestly, I just want Kane to stay in England. And obviously, of course, I'd love to win a trophy with us. But if somewhere go to United, go to City, somewhere where you can finally show people, yes, I'm so good. He's just genuinely so good, and people just don't see it yet. And it's fine. It's fine. It's gonna happen where they're gonna be like, holy shit, wait, Kane is just playing his mind out of his mind. And he's been doing this for the past 6 seasons, but now you're catching up.
Declan Rice, just wait.
Jesus Christ.
It's me with Declan Rice, just wait.
Yeah.
But I think it also it's the fact that he plays for no offense, but such a sorry Tottenham side, really doesn't do him justice, right? At least for Tottenham fans know how well he plays. Premier League fans know how well he is. Obviously, people are gonna have their biases because of their team to support, but not having won anything is going to do a lot to his legacy.
Yeah.
If he goes to United and wins a lot, which I think he will, I think it's going to be. I think would cement him more in that top striker role. I think someone on Twitter said he compared him to the movement of Robin van Persie, same age and everything when he might move over United, and then they won the first league title in a minute, I think, or something like that.
I saw that. I saw that Twitter.
Yeah, right. Okay. Like I think it could very well be something like that. And Harry Kane, for me, he needs to make that move. If nothing happens in the time and from now to when his contract is up at Tottenham, if Daniel Levy is still on top or in charge, and if there's been no reinforcements for Harry Kane, then he has to move. I think there's no other option. No matter what the club has brought to you, what you've done for the club, what the club has brought for your career, like I think you have to move. And United would be the best team for that.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
Sorry, can I say just one last thing?
No, go ahead.
What was I gonna say? The fan reception from when Kane was going to go to City. What was that? Was that 2 seasons ago?
2 seasons, yeah.
Compared to how we're thinking about the idea of him leaving now is so different. 2 seasons ago, we were like, pissed at him. He gave that interview with Gary Neville. We were like, whatever. Basically, we were mad at him. Now, any fan, I could tell you right now, any true Tottenham fan is going to be like, we want to see our boy go show everybody what he's really about, because we've known how good he is, and we honestly just want him to finally hit that kind of level to where people are like, oh yeah, he's been world class. So I am all for Kane. Don't go to a London team. I don't think he would, but don't go to Chelsea or don't go to friggin' Arsenal. But United or Liverpool, I'm fine with that.
I want to compare him a little bit to LeBron.
Club, is that what you said?
Yeah, I'm missing their club there, bud.
Okay. Yeah, Crystal Palace. My bad.
Crystal Palace. Fulham. Don't forget about Fulham.
It's in East London. Even
Millwall. No, that's kidding. Okay, I do want to compare Harry Kane a little bit. I want to compare Harry Kane a little bit to LeBron, and you're gonna see why. Not because of not like GOAT status. Harry Kane, isn't like the GOAT of all time, right? But LeBron started in Cleveland, made his career in Cleveland, became one of the best players in the world at Cleveland, and he had to move to win. He moved to Miami, won I think 3 championships with a better team, became one of the greatest teams of all time, blah blah blah. And now he can do fuck all. He can do whatever he wants, and he's still one of those players of all time. Won a championship with Lakers, blah blah. And went back to Cleveland, won with Cleveland.
That would be something.
So think about Harry Kane in that way. Harry Kane could be the same player in the way that he was not born, but he grew at Tottenham, became the player we know him as at Tottenham, moves to United to win what he needs to win, what he wants to win, because regardless of your loyalty to the club, you want to win if you're at that level. He moves to United to win, wins, maybe comes back to Tottenham, and wins again afterwards. He's still young. He's not terribly old. He's not even in the second half of his career.
At 33, 34 and still
I could totally see it.
Yeah.
I could totally see it. So, yeah, I just thought about that right now.
That would be. I would honestly cry tears of joy if that ever happens. I would be so happy. But we'll see.
That's the way I see Harry Kane's career going personally.
Yeah.
Is doing that. Okay, this isn't on the doc on our thing, but I just thought of it right now too. Still kind of relates to the LeBron thing. You know. So it's a topic that we've seen recently. I've seen amongst other podcasts, channels, pages, whatever. Is the Premier League becoming what the NBA is to basketball? In the way that will the Premier League inevitably become the one top league in the world, where if you're not playing the Premier League, you're not a good player, or vice versa. The Premier League, well, you play in the Premier League versus playing at La Liga, and there's a huge difference. I don't know. Do you guys think it'll become that? And if so, will that be? What are your thoughts on that?
Nah, it's stupid. There's so many leagues. The thing is like the NBA compared to like English Premier League and all the other leagues has nothing on the football leagues because it's still relatively new compared to like the leagues in football.
Of course.
But yeah, it's like every league has its own thing. And not every player can come to England. It's just a fact. It makes no sense. So, like, yes, it's already established itself as the best league in the world, but having it, like, overarching every league is, frankly, ridiculous to me. Like, the idea of it. No offense if you guys disagree with me, but just dumb because it's like there's no way. There's going to be fans of every, like, of Spain, Spanish fans supporting La Liga. They're going to do their thing. And it's just there's no way that one league is going to rule them all because this is not going to happen whatsoever.
Well,
Fans won't let that happen, if that makes sense.
I think, of course, but I think the point is made for me. While I think it would be terrible, I think top 5 leagues need to stay top 5 leagues, whatever, right? Fans obviously you want that more competition, blah blah blah. I don't think it should be like the NBA, but I can see a possibility of it becoming the NBA in terms of talent pool, right? That's it. Like regardless, even if you look at basketball, NBA has the most fans in the world, obviously, but you watch a game in Greece, you watch a game in Israel, you watch a game in Turkey, and you see the amount of those fans have more passion for their leagues than we do for ours sometimes, right? Things like that. They're still gonna have their fans, still gonna have their teams, still gonna have the money flow into it, blah blah blah. But I can completely imagine the Premier League over time, with the amount of investment being put into it, becoming the hotspot for the players and becoming I'd rather go play at Crystal Palace than Atletico Madrid. Like things like that, because they want to play in the best league in the world. And over time, the talent there would just be a bigger divide in talent just because of that mentality. Regardless of fans, regardless of owners, regardless of teams, blah blah blah. I can totally see it happening. I don't know. Diego, give me your thoughts. Or
I'll say something.
Yeah. I just think we should also think about I don't know. 20 years ago, Italy was the league where all the top players went, and maybe a mixture of different things caused it to kind of fall off a little bit. And then Spain, I feel like, was the big one for a while. Especially with Messi and Ronaldo there, everybody tuned in to watch, especially when those El Clásicos happened. I unfortunately was not too much of a football fan at the time, but those used to draw in some serious viewership, seriously, some crazy viewers.
Even a little bit before with like the Galacticos and Luis Figo and like those kind of players and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't think it would ever become the NBA in the way that everybody just focuses on that one league purely. I don't think it would ever be that one-sided. But it's undeniable that the Premier League is definitely the most popular league in the world right now. And I think it's more of a fact that it's just so much more accessible. Like there's so many more channels you could catch it on. You could catch basically any game,
especially in the USA.
Especially in the USA, yeah, especially in the USA. And so I'm not gonna lie. Do I think it's kind of very very dominant league right now? Yeah. But I also agree with Andres where I don't think we'd ever see it become the main one. You got the Champions League to see all these other clubs as well, and you see how well
that is true.
Italy are doing. Yeah.
To me, that's the difference maker between basketball and soccer is that basketball there is no international league competition, like that, like Champions League level. Yeah. It's just NBA, you win the title.
Yeah,
that's it.
The farthest you go is the Olympics, where you'll see like international players. But
exactly, but that's just national teams, right? The best in the world is self-proclaimed as the NBA title winners. That might not even be true, but I think because the fact that winning the league isn't the end all, it's it's a European competition. You win that, and then you win the European competition, or whatever. I think that will almost force the other leagues to have to keep up, right? Like, I mean, they're obviously not going to let the league dip behind, not going to let the teams dip behind. But I think that because of the fact they want to win Champions League, they're going to have to keep up more so than Premier League has to slow down, And I think it's just more competition exudes competition. If that makes sense, like more competition.
No, I agree. Yeah.
Like so, like that's to me that's the only way that the only reason that the leagues aren't falling behind more. Truthfully, yeah. Andres, do you have any more on that or?
No, I was just gonna say the thing. Also, difference between like the whole like NBA scenario and like football scenario with the Prem is like players come out of everywhere. In the NBA, usually it's like they come from America or they transfer over early on, go to college. Like here, it's like you can find them anywhere, and then they develop where they're at, and then they move on to bigger teams. But it doesn't necessarily mean the Prem. Also, certain players don't want to go to the Prem. They prefer to stay in their home country, or they prefer to go to a different league. Family situation, so it's like not every player wants to play for Crystal Palace, but at the same time, I'm just using Crystal Palace as an example, like because you said it, but like what I mean, like not every player wants to go to a mid-table club. They'd rather maybe go somewhere else, win a championship because they'd rather, it's Prem's a bigger league than let's say what's a fair league to compare it to? The Portuguese league, right? But like, you know, you have a better chance of winning something in the Portuguese league, like winning the Portuguese league title, than the Premier League if you're playing for like Everton or Crystal Palace or something like that. It just depends on the player's philosophy. But like, yeah, it's gonna be like I don't see the Prem ever having like Messi, Ronaldo type players like on every team, if that makes sense, you know, like all the big players on one team, like that will never happen. Financially, I feel like that's almost impossible. And B, like players won't want that because they want to be playing, having game time. So why would they want to go to a team where they won't have any?
Here's the thing as well. I feel like as well. Like the thing is, whether no matter how hard the Premier League tries, Barcelona and Real Madrid have that status of the two best clubs in the world, and everybody wants to play for them, kind of thing, right? And so I feel like you look at like an Mbappe, who is probably the biggest upcoming star we have right now. He would most likely want to go to Real Madrid than any other club, even though technically speaking, you know England is more like more,
yeah,
like what's the word, accessible, if you will.
Right.
And so like Messi, he never came to Premier League, and he's the greatest player of all time. So like,
no.
It's as long as the players continue to be like, oh, I don't have to go to the Premier League, I can stay. And the big ones especially, I don't think we'll ever see that dominance of one league. But I don't know, maybe one day all of a sudden it becomes it, and the Messi of 20 years or whatever, maybe he's like, oh, I have to come to the Premier League. Then I could see that start having an effect. Like the best players now want to start coming.
Well, I think especially too, like, I mean, this is going a little bit deeper into it, but you know, we've said how accessible it is, blah blah blah, and if it's as accessible to USA, I'm sure it's accessible to other countries too in comparison to other leagues, right?
It's crazy though. But just to cut you off real quick, like in England, it's impossible to get games sometimes.
Yeah, I know.
It's so crazy to me.
Than they do.
Yeah. Sorry,
but
continue.
You're good. At the same time, we also have the players of 20 years from now, of 10 years from now, are in the same spot we are, and that's they're growing up because they can only really watch the Premier League. They're going to think it's the best team in the world, or it's the best league in the world, and because of how much more accessible it's becoming, I mean, it's reaching more people, and people are gonna, like I said, they're gonna switch their mindsets to think that the Premier League is the best in the world just because that's the only one they see, right? So, I think it also brings up the possibility that in time that mentality will stick, regardless of what they actually do know or see. That mentality will stick. It's like, well, you know, I've watched Arsenal since I was 5 years old in my basement. I'm gonna go play for them. You know, like things like that. I watched Premier League since the beginning. I'm gonna go play there because it is the best. You know, things like that. I don't know. There's a lot of factors to take into account over time, but I could see it becoming the best league in the world and the only top league in the world, or not.
I think it would be a shame if it did. It would be a real shame.
Oh, easily. I mean, who doesn't like? I don't know. We like watching football. We like watching the Champions League. For that, no one likes to watch Tottenham Chelsea in the Champions League.
No,
like we'll do it. We don't want to have to. You know, like we want to watch this team from Ukraine step up and go to the quarterfinals, semifinals. Like what the hell?
Yeah,
like know, it doesn't happen. So yeah, exactly. It would be. I think a shame is the word to use for sure.
Yeah,
if that were to happen. Yeah.
Big if in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, I want to talk about Everton and Frank Lampard then next.
Suck it, bitch.
Frankie
boy
Andres might know more about them than we are, considering their relation in the table.
What are you talking about? They're in the relegation zone. We're nowhere near it.
Like 1 point above it.
We're in 16th. We're a place up.
How many points
above it?
By how many points?
We're in 16th. We're 2 places above it. We don't talk about points, all right? We're tied for 14th. So you know what? Just.
Okay.
But
all right. But
it's tough.
Being a Chelsea fan, of course, I have a soft spot for Frank Lampard. I think he was sacked way too early from Chelsea, and I think that led to the downward spiral in his career. But can we all just admit that he's not a Premier League manager?
Yeah.
Let's be honest. He's not.
Got shit on by West Ham.
I hold the belief that although he is managing one of the worst run clubs in the league, and Everton, who have spent so much money in the past 5-10 years and have nothing to show for it. So he is unfortunate in that way. He is not the manager they need to lift them out of their doom. I don't know. Well,
They need to go down.
Do you disagree with me?
I can say this. I saw this stat. He has been at the helm of the worst start of Everton's Premier League history history, with no signs of improvement. And the only buy they've made is Danjuma on loan.
Yeah, about to. I'm not certain, but it's about to. Yeah,
it's close. It's close. I think he's having a medical. So I think what I'm trying to say is, I don't see that being in any way a game changer. He's a good player, but he's not. I don't think he's going to all of a sudden start turning losses into wins.
No.
And I think, usually I say it's not always the manager's fault. I think in this case it may be.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to pin 100% on it, but I am going to say that he is a.
I feel like Everton have a good enough team to be better than 18th or 19th in the Prem.
Yeah, they squeaked by last year too.
Yeah, but like that's just that. Like, what's the? I saw TikTok. They had a chance in 2016, I think it was. They could have signed Holland for like $3 million or something like that. Chose not to and signed a striker who didn't score a goal for them in 3 years.
But it's like one of the. The thing is with that set, it's like now it's big, but like back then
I know
you see what you see.
To me, it highlights though something in the way that Everton signed so many players, but they don't work out. I remember 2 or 3 years ago, I think they just brought like Andre Gomez in and like that batch of players, and I was like, Everton could challenge for like a Europa League spot or something like that at best, And then it's like they bring in this talent, these players, and nothing happens.
Well, when they had Colin Slotty, they were doing pretty well for a little bit there.
Yeah, and he goes on to Real Madrid and wins the Champions League with them.
Yeah,
but like
they need a hardcore factory reset. That's what they need.
Yeah. At the same time, like, who do they bring in as manager who would save them from this? Is there anyone that can? I mean, Sean Dyche.
That's a shout. West Ham. That's our preferred replacement if we sack Moyes. If we don't, start winning games, that's their replacement apparently.
Dude, the scenes if he's back in the league, bro.
I'd love to see Sean Dyche. I miss that.
But I want to see him like on a team where he's not fighting relegation. Like I want to see him with a team that can actually do something, because his reputation is like, oh yeah, he's a relegation team manager. But the thing is, like at Burnley, he wasn't given anything. He kept them afloat because of him. So I want to see him with like a board that backs him, with a team that he can build with, not fucking Burnley or Everton. West Ham is one of those teams, but I was gonna say
honestly, if you guys would get rid of Moyes, and I think West Ham are the team that you're describing there.
Yeah, I've changed my mindset on Moyes. I know I keep flip flopping, guys, but
not Mourinho.
No in the
Moisaiah.
No, because in the reaction video I did, I said he's got to go, but after this weekend, I know it's crazy, but like it seems like the players really back him based on their reactions towards goals and certain things they did during the game. Seems like the players really back him and put a lot of blame on them instead of the manager, because it's true they haven't been playing well. But to get back on topic, I think if he had to go, Sean Dyche would be a good replacement for West Ham. But also, I think Everton need to go down in the Championship. I think it'd be best for them too, because it's a factory reset. You sell a bunch of the players. Yeah, you're going to lose money, but I feel like the board might leave. And then because Everton fans want a new board. So that board might leave if they go to the Championship, get a new board in, and then see what happens,
Honestly, like, you're right in the way it's probably best for the club, because I just don't want to see them become that team. Like, they're a founding member of the footballing league. Like, you don't want to see that.
What do want to become Sunderland?
Because Sunderland, Bolton, like Bury, like we've seen all these teams just go into administration over some time, and they're not the team that I want to see do it. And it's just sad. Like, I like Everton. I don't think anyone really dislikes Everton besides maybe Liverpool fans. Like I think they are a team I would not be mad at being successful. and a team that I thought was going to be successful. If you go back 3-4 years, I thought they were going to be up there with the best. Like, I would have liked them to get the Newcastle treatment. You know, I think that would have been nice. That's what I mean, though. It was like I wish they got the new investors.
Yeah, I genuinely think their best bet is going down. Not like tanking on purpose. Like, obviously try your best, but like, but like I think the best case scenario for them is if they barely stay up. I think it's gonna be this repeat of the same thing. I think they just need to go down and reset. That's what happened to West Ham when we went down to the championship. Miles back is like, even Mark Noble at the time, who was our captain, literally said it was the best thing that could happen because we just needed to reset, focus back up, and then go back up. So I think if they're able to come back up, that's the thing. If they're able to, and not just stay in the championship, if they're able to come back up, I think it'd be a good thing for them.
That's fair. West Ham might have the same thing this year too. They might go for that reset. Just kidding.
Oh God. No. I'm confident in the boys to finish.
I'm just gonna end it off with. It's in the docs, and you guys might be confused as to what it is, but the white card. Do you guys see what the white card is?
I saw it.
Okay.
Dog,
So you saw what it is?
Am I on the wrong doc? Oh, I see it. What's the white card, dog? You feel me?
It was in the Portuguese league.
Oh, I saw that. Never mind. Now I know.
Yeah, it's a card shown for fair play. That's all I know.
I don't understand the point of it. Like,
I thought that's what it was for.
Get?
I thought he accidentally pulled it out because there's the card blocker between the red and the pin. I thought he accidentally pulled that out.
I'm pretty sure it's like something they're trying this year, and it's like it's a card shown for fair play, like for.
Well, what do you get for it? Do you get a free pen?
I don't know. I don't think you get anything. That's what I thought too. I thought this was becoming the Kings League, and I thought we're getting free penalties or something like that.
Hold on, I'm looking this up in the office.
Me too.
No, it says what? Okay, in 2015 article, it says if a player gets a white card, they have to leave the pitch for 10 minutes.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that's what it says. That's what
it was in a woman. It was in a woman's match. No, wait. Okay, so what I'm reading here. Okay, with Benfica leading 3-0, someone on the bench in the dugouts reportedly felt ill at the end of the first half. After the issue was medical staff from both sides rushed to the aid. After the issue was dealt with, the referee came in seen brandishing the white card, which I think is like a sign of respect. Good job, fair play. But it's like the first ever recorded time it's been used.
I think so from Sky Sports it says, but this isn't right. It says if one team has a concussion substitute, they will hand a green card to the referee, and to balance that up, the opposing team will be given a white card so you can use an extra substitute. I'm so confused.
Oh, I see what you're talking about, but this is from 8 years ago. The first one you read was from 8 years ago.
Like, fucking 2015 was 8 years ago. God damn. God damn.
Yeah,
dude, that is whack.
It's part of a new initiative to recognize and praise fair play during games. It's been introduced to improve ethical values in the sport.
Who cares? It doesn't give me shit.
It doesn't apply unless for you get like, I don't know, your yellow cards wiped clean, or you I don't know, you
plus one
whatever
points.
something like that. Just
plus one.
Yeah, plus one. Nah, that would be much. But like, it's just
0.5.
like I don't understand. You see it, you're like, okay, great, that's great. I'm gonna try to get that again.
Yeah. I know. The thing said like the staff and like the manager or whatever looked confused.
I would be too shit.
Yeah.
I'd be like, why are you giving me this?
Yeah, what the hell is this?
And why is it a white card, not a black card? I have questions.
Oh my god.
That seems a little,
open the conversation. Open the conversation right now.
Come on. Why did we decide it was a white card? What happened there? Let's go.
2 today, Dio.
2 today.
2 potential cutouts. I'm just kidding. I'm feeling good. All right.
Yeah. Don't cancel Diego. He's a lovely guy.
Yep.
Thank you.
Diego. We back him. He will still be on the pod even if he gets canceled.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry. It's just true.
Is that a challenge?
Cancel on Is that a challenge? Okay. All right.
We can't get canceled because we'll just keep posting.
We're uncancelable. Let's go.
Yeah, I bring it on. Bring it on, cancel culture. You won't cancel any of us. Best believe.
We're too good. Get out of here.
Anyways, we're just gonna call. We'll just call the episode there. There's people talking outside. Dave will give me the outro today.
Ooh.
Okay. Thank you everyone for watching. This was our 16th, if I'm correct, 16th episode. Which is actually pretty crazy. We're 4 away from 20. And
Wow.
you know that just means we've done this for a good amount of time now. I don't think we either expect to do this.
Maybe a couple of months, 7 months.
No,
maybe August, September, October, November, December,
5?
January. 6 months.
6 months.
6 months, half a year. Damn.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
We've
come a long way.
Yeah,
We've come
a long way.
Wow.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn,
well,
that's crazy shit.
That's we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep making him. I think we'll have some match reactions. I don't know. We might. If we don't, we'll have another episode up next week.
Well, is it international break this week?
FA Cup.
FA Cup.
You're just not in it, bud. It's all right.
Arsenal versus City. That's the one we're gonna react to right there.
Yeah, and then West Ham versus Derby County. That's the one I'm reacting to.
That should be a good game, though. That should be a really good game, if I'm being honest. Come
Which one? Arsenal City?
No.
The Derby.
He's gonna. Here we go. He's gonna be like, it's gonna be a preview. It's gonna happen in the championship.
You said it, not me. I didn't.
Because I know you're gonna say it. That's why.
I honestly wasn't. But all right.
Oh, what was your reason then?
I wasn't gonna say anything. I was saying it was a good game. There wasn't gonna be anything.
I thought you were gonna say it's a great preview to what's gonna happen next season.
They're folding in on themselves, Diego.
Shut the fuck up. Honestly, you know what? We're West Ham. It might be a good game. You know, I in my prediction right now is Derby's gonna score first. Derby. Don't give a shit. They'll score first. Watch.
Yeah.
Because we're West Ham.
Blackburn on that. All right, sorry, Diego.
Okay, let's back on.
Wrap it up. Wrap it up.
Thank you guys for watching. We will have to, get some new topics for next week, but I hope these were interesting. We'll probably post some like TikToks or whatever on it. I think we catch those. Thank you, Elijah, for that. We'll see you guys next week.
Peace.